Team XRP just scored another win against its case with the SEC. Also, what if you went to an ATM, put your card in, and it spit out $1.2 billion? And is Russia going to beat the United States in the launch of a CBDC? It sure looks like it. Let's go screen and explore the hot news. Yes, another stablecoin depegging, and you're not going to believe the story behind this. Imagine going to an ATM, you put your card in, and out comes $1.2 billion. ACALA stablecoin aUSD collapses after parachain exploit. ACALA network stablecoin aUSD collapsed to zero on Sunday after hackers exploited a bug in its newly deployed liquidity pool to mint over 1.28 billion tokens out of thin air. I've got the ACALA price up on the screen, and you can see that it has depegged heavily since the exploit has happened. The majority of these coins were blocked, rendering the hack almost useless. But the real damage wasn't financial. It was with the confidence in the aUSD product that an easy exploit like this could happen. It dropped from its dollar peg down to almost 50 cents per unit, a 50% loss. Now, what happened was there was a new liquidity pool that was created, and they were able to exploit it. According to on-chain data, one hacker erroneously minted around 1.28 billion aUSD tokens and swapped them for a small fraction of ACALA's native token, ACA, and 4 other tokens. Shortly after the incident, ACALA put the parachain in maintenance mode and paused the cross-chain transactions. Oracle price feeds, leaving the hacker stranded with around 1.27 billion worthless aUSD tokens on the network. But could you imagine that? Having banking systems right now where someone could easily just go in and hit the old print button and print out $1.28 billion worth of currency. That is part of the problem that we're dealing with in the Web3 crypto space. Is exploits like this are way too common. These technical exploits are being exposed almost every week right now. My honest belief is that for Web3 and crypto to be taken more seriously, we have to start knocking down the frequency of these exploits. It seems that every time a new protocol is made, there's an exploit that goes after it in a short amount of time. Gotta fix these exploits if people want to take Web3 and crypto seriously. But on to the big story of Russia and the CBDC. Yes, Bank of Russia to launch digital ruble in 2024. The Russian government has come out and said by the end of 2023, they will have a full implementation schedule released. In fact, in April 2023, the CBR will begin trials with real transactions and users, which is earlier than initially planned, putting pressure on the rest of the developing world to catch up with CBDCs. Let me ask you, is the United States going to get beat by Russia in the launch of a CBDC program? CBR officials have come public in May 2022 with information according to which the financial sanctions imposed by West Russia's military invasion of Ukraine have reportedly played a role in the bank's decision to speed up the development of a CBDC. I find it very interesting that Russia specifically mentions the Ukraine conflict for the reason of why it's speeding up its development of its CBDC project. Now, what happens to the rest of the world as Russia comes out ahead? Because as we've seen, Russia is ahead of the United States when it comes to CBDC, and there are a whole bunch of benefits to a government that uses a CBDC. No, I'm not talking about the China authoritarian version, but a CBDC that would help cut costs and bring about more accountability financially. So it appears Russia's going to come out with their CBDC first. Let me know in the comments below, are you worried about Russia's financial dominance over the United States and the rest of the developing world with their CBDC project rolling out before everyone else's? And in fact, they've even increased, yes, ramped up their timeline for deployment of that project. But now on to the Ripple case news. Yep, because we've got a good one. Ripple lawsuit, SEC receives fresh blow. A judge had earlier dismissed the regulator's motion to revoke the Amici curiae status granted to XRP holders. And we know that the Amici status was granted to allow John Deaton to represent XRP holders that believe they have been injured by the SEC's overreach going after XRP. But now we have a new one. The payment giant is set to serve 2 subpoenas to at least 7 SEC officials. The judge presiding over the high case, Netburn, snubbed the SEC's claim that the defendants were trying to reopen fact discovery. Now, all that Ripple is trying to do here is authenticate some videos and who was speaking in the videos. Now, it's important because there are some big time officials that they would be authenticating. And what happens is when they authenticate this stuff, the judge has to watch the whole thing and see what these people are talking about. Now, there are some juicy bits in these statements that they want authenticated, and they don't want the statements authenticated, but the people that said them, because we have high public officials in the SEC saying some very damning things against their case that would be authenticated. The people would be authenticated. Now, the SEC came out and gave a one-liner, again, trying to delay it, and the SEC said this: the plaintiff respectfully takes no position on the defendant's motion to reopen fact discovery to serve non-party subpoenas for the purpose of obtaining video recordings for authentication. Read between the lines, everyone. They are dragging their feet yet again. One-liner delays, doing anything they can to drag the case out and find anything that they can to save their asses. Yes, the SEC is in desperation mode. The big takeaway I took from this, though, came from Brad Garlinghouse, because he is optimistic here, and this is what Brad says. Despite the case being dragged, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse believes a resolution may be found before the end of the year. Don't be scared by the shadow over there. That's my doggy in front of the studio lights. But could you imagine if the case got settled, or if the judge handed out a victory before the end of 2022, how big that would be for Ripple Labs XRP? Now, honestly, people in the know have been saying 2023, first part of the year, is when they see resolution happening. But now we got Brad coming out saying, hey, I think this might even be done before the end of 2022, which would be great because that would save Ripple Labs so much money with extended court costs. So now we've got 1.28 billion minted in an exploit for yet another stablecoin. We've got Russia ramping up their CBDC deployment, threatening the rest of the world. If the rest of the world does not speed up with their deployment, come on, United States, where are you? And we have Ripple Labs XRP with another victory against the SEC, just stacking them up one after another. Exciting news here all around. And if you want to learn about another exploit that makes that 1.28 billion look like nothing, check out this video regarding Solana's total value locked being faked right here. All right, everyone, take care. Have a great day.